First of all, my name is Ben. I'm a tour guide with Kilmallock Tourism here in Kilmallock, and you're all
Margaret said, by the way.
you're all very welcome back to Kilmallock again. It's great to see you all again. Now, some of you know a little bit about the history of Kilmallock because I think you took part in it last year. But sorry, you're going to have to bear with me. The tour will be about a half an hour.
Yeah.
So we'll start. I'd like to start really. I'd like to do it in a number of ways. First of all, I'd like to tell you about the beginning of Kilmallock. I'd like to tell you about the importance of Kilmallock. I'd like to tell you about the decline of Kilmallock. I'll tell you then about the family that were most associated with Kilmallock, but the Desmond family or the Fitzmaurices. And there were sort of three brands of the Desmonds. There was the White Knights, which we had here in Kilmallock. There was the Green Knights, which were in Tralee and North Kerry, and they originated from North Kerry. And there was the Black Knights, which was the Knight of Glyn, which probably more of you would probably have heard of it. So if we can start at the beginning, and I'd like to start with a little quotation, if I may, because for me it sums up Kilmallock in a sentence. It was written by a travel writer back in 1770. His name was Campbell, and he said, "Kilmallock must have been a place of high antiquity, for it preserves a magnificence, even in its ruins, that I have not seen in Ireland, and I call it the Baalbek of Ireland." So in a way, Kilmallock was obviously a magnificent town in the 1600s. It went rapidly into decline. Thankfully, this stage is beginning to recover slightly again. The name, as you probably gather, Kilmallock, means Church of Mallock. An abbot or a bishop who came here in the mid-600s founded a little monastery up on the hill, which is on the northwest area here. It's just now demonstrated by a little cross there. And how big the settlement was, we're not actually quite sure. All that remains is the footnote of a chapel or a church. But we do know that the settlement grew, and when the Normans came to us in Kilmallock in about the 1190s or so, there was a settlement in Kilmallock, and it was known as the Luba, and that's where the collegiate church is now. The collegiate church would be 1500th century, but the round tower at the end certainly predates the building, and we are fairly certain that that's where the settlement came to, and certainly the round tower will indicate that, and the people who have studied it would say that it's from around the 1100s. When the Normans came in the 1200s, they obviously saw it, the area was very, very fertile. Rich, fertile ground. It had a river running almost through the settlement. It was right in the centre of Munster. So they began to fortify the town. First of all, I suppose, with clay and stone, with a little moat on the outside of it. Now, the building you're looking at here is not the original building, obviously. The tower that I talked about, the settlement, that was part of the original settlement. When they moved from the hill, that was part of it. And there are footprints of a church on the western side of that there. So that tower predates this building. This building was about 14th, 15th century, and would have had many additions to it over the years. It was probably built with the nave and the chancel in the centre, and would have had additions onto the left-hand side and the right-hand side. That piece in there has been beautifully restored by the OPW, as you can see there to your left-hand side. And contains the tomb of the White Knight.
The tomb of who, sorry?
White Knight, the skin. So that's just a brief. The roof is back to its original. It's made of solid oak, and the slate would probably be the broadcut slate, which would have been near enough to the original on the building. The glass has been restored into it. It's in reasonably good shape, and it's maintained and looked after by the OPW. The graveyard at this stage is taking no more people, and is moving up to the local, to the joint parish of Ballingetty. So those of us that were thinking of getting better here. Unfortunately.
You're part of the league.
So that's it. Anybody want to ask any questions or any? Or will we leave that one to the
Would the original roof have been wood as well? That's all
Oh, it would have been oak.
that's
Yeah,
all-
yeah. The oak would have been the predominant timber in Ireland during that period. Yeah.
Did something happen in the 1930s to
They
take it
did,
out of use?
unfortunately. As you know, in communities like Kilmallock, there was a bit of tension between the local Protestant community and the local people, and the church was burnt in about 1935. The building, the area where you're in the hotel at the moment is known as Debert, right? Loosely terminated, it's debarred, if you would translate it, and it means outside of, and we are outside of the town wall.